There will also be a situation when you're asked to write an equation given 2 points. So now you're not given a slope and a point, you're just given 2 points. So you're going to write that in this margin here, and we flip up. And there's our example problem. Write the equation of the line that passes through the points 2, -3, and 4, 7. So again, if you look at this question, it doesn't tell you to use point-slope form. It just gives you information, and you have to figure out which form you're going to use. So you think, well, slope-intercept form. Am I given the slope? Am I given the y-intercept? In this case, I'm only given 2 points, right? Now I could find the slope, so I do technically have the slope. I just have to really find what the number is, but I have a way to do that. However, I don't have a y-intercept. Standard form, I don't have x and y intercepts. So let's look at point-slope form. What do I need to use this form? It's pretty simple. I need a point and a slope. So I look at my information here that I'm given. I'm given 2 points actually. I can choose either one. But I'm not given a slope. So what I have to do is I have to find the slope. And that's easy to do when I have these values. So remember, the equation, the slope formula, is m equals and it's y2 minus y1, and that's over x2 minus x1. Alright, that's the slope formula. And in order to use this formula, I need to find my x and y values. Right? So this here, 2, -3, this is going to be my first x, my x1, and my first y, my y1. This here, 4, 7, that's going to be my second x, which is my x2, and my second y, so y2. And these are kind of too close together. I don't want to confuse anyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert, right, these numbers into these variables to find my slope. And you've done that. That was one of the first entries we did for this unit. The y2 value is 7. Again, my y's are in red and my blues are in, my x's are in blue. We have 7, and we are subtracting y2 minus y1. So we're subtracting -3. Right, 7 minus -3. Not just -3, minus -3. And that's all over x2 minus x1, which is going to be 4 is my x2 value, minus 2. And you can kind of always double check whether or not you use your points correctly, because see, this is the point 4, 7, so I should have a 4, 7. This is 2, -3, should have 2, -3. And now that we have these numbers down, we're just going to use some arithmetic. Right? That's just working with numbers and not variables. 7 minus -3 is really 7 plus 3, which is 10. Four minus 2 is just 2. And we can reduce 10 over 2 to be just 5. So my slope is 5. So now that I've found my slope, I can use my point slope form because I have 2 points to choose from. Now what you should do is just use whichever one is easiest. So for example, I see 2, -3, and 4, 7. I usually want to work with positive numbers, so I don't kind of get my integer rules mixed up and subtract negative numbers and just lead to some confusion. So positive numbers are a little more neat to work with, so let's choose these two. So now I have my slope of 5, and I'm going to use the point 4, 7. And what I'll do now is I'll write my point slope form with the boxes. If you've got it without boxes, you don't think you need to, you can go ahead and skip that step. Just do it for the videos because it helps with any confusion about where numbers should be going. So this is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now my y value was positive 7, so I'm going to put that in my y box. My slope was 5. And my x value is 4. Common mistakes are when students flip-flop the 4 and the 7. Okay, so just be careful of that. It's kind of backwards thinking because in your point, 4 comes before 7, and in your equation, the 7 goes before the 4. So it's kind of backwards, and I think that messes people up. And now what we're going to do is we are going to rewrite it without the boxes. Y minus 7 equals 5 times x minus 4. And there's my equation written in point slope form. Oftentimes as well, you're going to be asked to write the equation of the line that passes through the points, right? Gives you 2 points, but then you'll be asked to put it into slope-intercept form. And what that means is just bring it all the way down to y equals mx plus b. So to put in slope-intercept form, there's really only 2 steps. My first one is going to be to distribute, which leaves me with y minus 7 equals 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And my second step is to get the y alone. Well, getting the y alone, really that just consists of adding 7 to both sides. Those cancel. Leaves me with y equals 5x negative 20 positive 7 is negative 13. And that's your y equals mx plus b. Right, the slope-intercept form. That's a common question you'll be asked to do. If you're just asked to write an equation, it doesn't say point slope form, right, like here, then you can leave it like this. If it asks you to go further, then these are the 2 steps. These 2 steps are really easy. Okay.